Once again, you can see here some before and after photos, how the river just rises and then goes across the floodplain. Many of those houses, if it was smaller than a 100-year event, would not have been flooded. But because it was much greater than a 100-year event, many more houses were flooded. This is one of our industrial areas, and you can see often industrial areas are built in low-lying floodplains. But what happened was, of course, then this is the food distribution for Brisbane. All of our fresh fruit and vegetables are distributed from here. So you can imagine once it flooded, there was fruit and vegetables everywhere. They were floating down the river. And this was very important for us to get this back up and running, because a lot of Brisbane's food gets distributed, sent out from this location. This is one of our sewage treatment plants. And of course, sewage treatment plants, like Chijin Island, are close to the ocean or close to the river. And then when a flood event happens, then the whole of the sewage treatment went underwater. And of course, that can create some smells. But it's very important to get the sewage up and running again too, so that the sewage doesn't get discharged into the river and out into the ocean. So that was a big job for our engineers to be able to get the sewage treatment plant up and running again. A lot of our ferry terminals, we have 18 ferry terminals, were destroyed during the flood event. Half of them were destroyed because we had barges and pontoons that were running into them. Or in some cases, the water level rose so high, the pontoon floated off and down the river. So you can see damage to some of our pontoons. And you can see here someone's boat floating down the river. There are hundreds of boats just floating down the river. This is one of our ferry terminals near the city that was destroyed. And here you can see some more damage to our ferry terminals. These are some of the pontoons from people's private jetties. The water went so high that they just went above the pylons and floated away. So after the event, our role was to coordinate volunteers to help the community. We had about $440 million worth of damage to our city's assets, about $3 billion of damage to the cities, the citizens' homes and other infrastructure. So we have a very important role in leading the recovery effort to make sure that our assets are rehabilitated so that the community can use them and so that the community can get back on its feet again too. This is just an example of, during the recovery effort, the Lord Mayor has many committees. There is a committee for community recovery, there's a committee for infrastructure recovery, economic recovery, and environmental recovery. And we report to those committees every week about our progress. Here are some of the assets that were affected by flooding. As you can see, we've already done a lot of work to be able to recover from the flooding. We have cleaned up many stormwater gully inlets, 8,000 of them. We are working on hundreds of kilometres of roads to be repaired. And you can see that we rebuilt our ferry terminals. We had a major floating river walk that was washed away. It was 800 metres long and it actually floated on the river. You could walk along it or you could ride your bike along it. And it was very popular with the people of Brisbane. And what happened during the flood is half of it floated away because it was designed for a 100-year flood event, but this was much larger than a 100-year flood event, and half it was raised up and floated down the river. We actually had a tugboat, when it floated away, just pushing it each way so it didn't run into our bridges. This is some of the damage to what's left of the floating river walk. And this is the piece that is missing. Some of it actually was washed out into the ocean. This is a piece of our floating river walk that is now out in the ocean. Here's some of the damage during the flood event. You can see even boats were washed up onto dry land. And many of our pontoons were damaged. You can see here some of the street signs were even just above water. There's a lot of damage to our footpaths.
那另外这
Many of our
个路
roads
径、
were
道路跟
damaged as
小
well.
径也都损坏。
Many of our bridges
很多的
sustained
桥梁
major damage, and so we're repairing all those
有
bridges
很
now.
严重的损害。我们现
We
在
have
正在修
600
复。
buildings that we are
我们
responsible
有
for,
600
and many of those
多
were
栋
damaged.
市政府
So some
负
of
责
them
的
have
建
been
筑物，
have to
有
be
一
completely
些必
demolished,
须
and
要完
others
全的
can
拆
be
毁
repaired.
那有
For
些是
example,
可
the
以修
swimming
复
pools, we can
比如
repair the
说
swimming
像
pools.
这个游泳池是可以修复的。
We've taken photos all the way up the Brisbane
我们
River of the damage, and here's an
在布里斯
example
本
of the
河沿
photos,
路
so we can
照相，
prioritise and
所以我们
determine
可以找
which
出
of
哪一
those we need
些
to
地
repair
区的
first,
灾害必须
which
要
are the most
先
important
复
ones
原
for us to work
哪
on
一些
first.
是比较重要，必须要先进行复
There
原
was a lot of
行动的。
volunteers came and helped with the flood
很多
recovery.
志工来
You
帮
can see
忙
here
清
we had
理。
6,000
你可以
volunteers
看
one
到
day,
一天就来
another
了6000
6,000
位志
volunteers the
工，
next day
第二
turned
天
up
又
to
来了
help. The
6000人
community
来帮
spirit
忙
was。quite
你
amazing.
可以看到
They
我们
went
所
in and
凝
helped
聚的社
people
区
to
精神，
move all the rubbish
大
out of their
家
home,
都
to
非
load it
常
up,
愿意
to
帮
clean the
助灾
streets, to clean their
民，
houses.
清理他们
It
的
really
家
was
里，清理
a
他们
very
的
strong
街道
community effort.
这真的是非常强大
There
的
was
社区
thousands
精
of
神。
tons of rubbish to be
你可以
taken
看
away
到
and put into
斯温
landfill
顿的
because there's nothing else
垃
that we
圾
could
必
do
须要
with it.
清理，
So lots of people lost
很
a
多
lot
人
of their furniture, a lot of their personal
失
belongings.
去了他们的所有跟
But
家
they worked
具。
together
不
to
过
be
一
able to
起
clean up
努
the city.
力，可
And
以
now
清
it is
理我们
looking
的
like
城市。
almost
现
a new
在
city again.
看起来就像是一个新的布里斯
We
本。
have lots of information
我
still
们有
available on
很
our
多
website.
资
And
料
as you
都
can
可以
see,
在
our
网
priority
站上
is
面
still
下
flood
载
recovery.。
你可以看到，所以灾后重建是我们第一优
Here is
先
some。more information available, which when
这
you
里
log
还
onto our
有
website,
更
you
多的
can
资
see
讯。
the
如果你上
information
我
we
们的
provide
网
to our
站，你
citizens
可以看到我
on
们提
flood
供
recovery.
对市民有关
There are
水灾
4
复原
important
的资
parts to
讯
the。flood recovery.
水灾的复原有
response
4个重要的
for the
部
first
分
one，
第一个是应变，
is
当时的
during
应
the
变，
flood event.
就是水灾来临
Second one is
的
after
时
the
期
flood。event, fixing
在
up
水
all
灾
of the
之后，我们
infrastructure,
要复
cleaning up all
原
the streets.
清理
This
街
one
道。
here is about
这
rebuilding,
个部分是有关
making
于
sure that
重
we have
建，
our assets available, our services available
确
for
保
our
我们的
community.
服务资
And
讯都可以提
finally,
供给社
we
区
have
使用。
building in
最
greater
后，
resilience
我们
so that if
建
this
立
happened
更
again,
好
we
的
won't
应
be as
变能
badly
力，所
affected.
以如果再发生一次，我
Here
们
are some
会处理
websites
得更
which you
好
can。visit
那
if
这
you want
里
to with
各
some
位可以
information,
上去看
and
一
it's in
看
your
的一些
folder
网
there
站。
to be able to
你可以
see
看
some
得
of the
到
information available on what we do in
我
Brisbane
们
that we want to
布里
share
斯
with
本
you.
的一些经验，这是我可以跟各位
It
分
was a
享
big
的。
day when all the city cats returned to the city.
在有一
You
天，
can
我
see
们
here's
渡
a,
轮都
excuse me,
回
a
来
whole
了，这是
parade
复文的
of
状况。
our
这个
ferries
是
or our city cats going up
叫
the
做
river.
City Cats，我们的
to
城
celebrate
市的
the
渡
start of
轮
our
在
service.
庆祝
The
恢复
recovery and
营
restoration
运，
is well underway.
所
It
以
was a
复
real
原的情况
celebration to have
非常的
the
好。
city cats back on the river to say that Brisbane
就像我
is
们
back in business.
这个渡船呢，回来继续营运。
谢谢高雄，谢谢高雄市政府
谢谢高雄市
给
政
我
府
这个
给我
机
这
会
个机
来
会来
参加
参加
这个论坛。
这个论坛。
谢谢。
谢谢。
好，非常感谢Blackie 先生哈
Thank you,
为我
Mr.
们做了精辟
Blackie,
的演讲。
for his
他
wonderful
事实上他是我们中
presentation.
山大学的校友哈，
He's
因为他
actually an alumni
3年
of
前在这
Sun
边
Yat-sen University.
学
3
在华语
years
中心
ago,
学了
he learned
how many months you learn
Chinese
Chinese
in our
Yes, Sun
Chinese
University, 10 lessons.
哦，他学了10课的华语哈，
learned
成
10
效还可以吗
lessons of Chinese.
I need to
How's
practice
his
a lot.
Chinese?
？OK，好，那各位来宾有没有什么问题要问
Now
Blackie？
I'd like to open the floor for questions.
好，请刘副市长。
刚刚杨教授
Deputy Mayor
说高雄市
Professor
没有
Young
水
just
库，其实
mentioned that
现在大
there's
高
no
雄有个
reservoir
阿公店
in
水库。
Kaohsiung, but we do have
杨教授
Agongdian
就记得
Reservoir
原来的
now
高雄市哦。
because
我
we're
想
now a
问的
new Kaohsiung city.
用
My
中文问还是用
question,
英文？
should I use English or
I just
Chinese?
want to know that in Brisbane,
我想知道在布
since
里
you
斯
have a
本
water dam, do you have
因为
any
有
kind
水
of
坝，
pre-warning
那
system
不晓得你们
for
有没有那些预警
any kind of disaster
的一个系统，
was
不
going
管
to
是任何
release
的
to the
灾难
public?。
Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor.
May I just translate？我就是问，要说就是在布里斯本，如果有水库的话，他们有没有预警系统？在 在水灾或者是汛期来之前，先做这个放水或者这样子的管理制度。Yeah, thanks.
谢谢 Deputy Mayor. Yes, we do have warning systems. We have
我们有
lots of
预警
water
系
level
统
gauges,
我们
and we
有很
have
多测
rainfall
水站
gauges, and they're all
降雨
connected through
测量站
our
那
software.
都
And
跟
what
我
we
们的软
found is
体
that we have a lot,
有连接
but
在
we
一
can always
起。
use more, because the more
我
information
们
you
虽然已经有
have,
很多，
the
但是
better you
我
are
觉得
able
我
to
们还可以
predict
有更多
what
的
the
资讯，因为资讯越
levels
多，
are
我
likely
们
to
越
be.
容易
We're
预
also able
测
to
比较
share
精
that
准一点，
information with the
而
community,
且也
so
能
they
够
can
去跟
log
民众
online and
分
see
享这
what
些
the
资
levels
讯，
are in
民
the
众
event,
可以上网
and
来
also we
看可
can
能的
warn
水
them
位，
using
我
our
们也可以
their
使
cell
用
phones, their
手
mobile
机
phones,
来提
if
供
there is likely to be
警告
some。storm events or some
比如
rainfall
说
events
可能
happening.
有大
With
规模的
the
降雨或
water
好大
water
雨，
being
我们都
released
可以用
from the
手机
dam,
来通知。
when
那
that is
至于
released, we're able
水
to then
坝
predict
泄
what
洪
the
的时
levels are
候，
likely to be in the river
我
down
们
near
可
the
以
city.
提供
That way
市
we
区
can have
里
as
面
much
河
information
水的
available
这个
to
水
our
面可能会
citizens as
涨多
possible.
少，这些也
There is
是我
much
们
more
可
we
以提
can
供
do
的资讯。
to improve,
当然，我
but
们还
we have
有
a good
改
amount
善
of
的空
information
间。
available, and we can always learn from others too about what
那我
they
们
do.
也可
And
以
that way
跟
we
别
can
人
use
学
that
习的更
information
多
to，improve our systems.
也可以学习来改善我们自己的系统。
还有什么问题要问 Black 先生？
Is there any question you would like to dedicate to Mr. Brecky?
May I ask you a question? You say Britain now is ready for the next step is the greater resilience.
你已经说布里斯本已经做好下一个水患的准备了。
You are come again, not a cyclone, not a thunderstorm. What you are flooding again, or have some resilience?
你是已经重建好了，还是做什么样的准备？
就是他说他们现在复原阶段已经做好了啊，那下一阶段就是他们要做这个非常多的这个因应弹性的、韧性的自处的因应的方式，resilient 啊，那他们有哪些因应的措施？如果下次再来一次大洪水，他们有没有办法来解决他们洪水的问题？
谢谢。Yes, one thing we are doing is
是
making
的，我
sure
们
that
所做
when
的
we
一件
build
事就
new
是要确
buildings,
定
they
在
are
建
built to
新
the
建筑
right
物
level.
的时候，
So as a
它的
result
标
of
准
this
是
flood
正
level,
确
because it
的
was。such a high flood,
因为
at the
我
moment
们
we've
的
raised
水
the
患
flood
都很
level
大
that，people can build.
所以我们有一
So
个
in other
更
words, they
高的
might have
标
been
准，也
used to
就
be able
是
to build to
说，
this level,
可能本
now
来
they
建
have
这
to
么
build to
高
that，level.
现
So
在
that
可能要建
builds
这
in
样子
more
的标准
resilience.
要有更多
Also,
可以
the
复
type
原
of
的
material that we use,
弹性。
so rather than using
我们
plaster,
的
which just
原
on
料
walls, which
不
just
是只有
disintegrates,
用这个
using
塑胶的
materials
材
that are
质，
resilient to water,
可能要用
concrete,
可以防
bricks.
水的，
That
像
way, if it
混凝
floods,
土
you can just、
砖
hose it
头
out,
等。
and then
这么
it's
样一
not
来，你就
affected.
可以抵
So there are
抗
many
水
different
患。
ways that we can
有很多方
improve
式，
the
我们都可以
resilience
做，
of
来把它包括
our
在复原
buildings,
里
of
面，
our
包括
people,
建筑物
so that
人
when a
们。
flood event comes,
所以
they
当
are
大洪
less
水来的
affected.
时候，会受到的影响就比较少。请用麦克风。
Yes, we have many parks, not so much the
我
schools,
们有
but the
很多
parks.
的公
Many
园
parks are on waterways, and so
都
that they
是
get
在
flooded,
水岸的地
and we
区，也
limit
都
the
受到了
development
水患
that
的
can
影
happen
响。
down near the waterways.
所以我
Now,
们
there
也做
already
一
is
些
a lot of
限制。
development near the waterways,
有一些开
and
发
in
案
some
也都是
cases
在水
we are
岸。
buying some of
有一
those
些
houses.
我们
So
都
we're
购买了这
purchasing
些
those
产
houses that are
物。
worst affected by flooding. In
我们
other
购买产物是
instances,
告诉
when
人
people
们要
rebuild,
想到水
rather
患
than
的问
building
题。
down there, we ask them to build up higher.
我们要
So yes,
求
we use many
建筑的
parks
高，
as like
要
flood
建筑在比较
retention
高的地方。
to slow down the water.
OK，好，我想这个方式也是可
I
能高
think
雄市以后也是
they
类似，
probably will be very good
利用公园
advice
绿
to
地
Kaohsiung
可以让它
because
来
we
淹
have a lot
没
of green land and parks
同时他们
to
还
mitigate the flooding.
build it higher the base for the house，
Yes,
这
build
个
the floor.
跟那个林边一样哈，房子先
Like,
他们是呈现的，先把房子盖很高哈，所以他们让怕它呈现
You。can
但是
build
在布里斯班，他们是先把房子
housing
稍微
on
加高
the
一
high
点，
level.
比较
You can
多一
elaborate
点。
your housing.
OK，Thank you。Any question?